stuff because I have my own. But
oh, we got Big Dick over here.
yeah,
Look, I'm not as
and
tech savvy, all right?
and
You know it.
I just think it's rude that you would even bring that up.
okay.
Fuck you.
This went to the wrong one.
You know what?
Who's the big point?
Uth-
You calm down.
Uthorn fell in the hole. He's dead. He's gone. Like, there's nothing epic about it. He just falls in a hole. Oh, I suppose it would be a good note to say that one of our players, Trey, got caught up at work. So he probably will not be here. He might be here later. We'll see. Probably not, though. So Silas will be somewhere.
Hopefully, not dead.
It's you. It's always been you. But anyway, last we left off, we. Oh, thanks.
I'm sorry.
You're killing me, Smalls. How's that? Is that better?
You are now really loud.
Is that better?
Yes, it is better, but you were really loud there for a second. But you're good now.
We good?
I think we are.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
One of these days I'll be able to start. Fuck.
I apologize.
Okay, so last we left off after going around the horn, introducing our player characters as they did various things in and around Ashmarch, also affectionately nicknamed Ashmarch, because the DM could not say the proper word in the beginning. We went around, introduced them and their activities, but as they were doing their various activities, the earth began to tremble and catch the attention of them and all of the inhabitants of Ashmarch. A few tremors later, the townspeople gathered within the town center, gazing up at the sky above, where the shimmering barrier that kept the Doomshroud at bay began to crack and splinter within the sky until eventually, all at once, it shattered, dissipating in a shimmering, dust-filled cloud. The lighthouses that once shone out into the darkness seemed to be extinguished. As this happened, a calm before the storm type silence fell over the land for a brief moment until a violent, thunderous roar rang out in the air, and moments later, giant fissures began to sprout and spread from the Doomshroud out towards Ashmarch. These fissures snaked their way into town as the onlookers watched in disbelief as one in particular wove its way through the streets, breaking stone, cracking houses, until it reached the inn at the center of town, the Rusted Axe Inn, where most of the onlookers had gathered. In that moment, everyone gathered around, looking, befuddled by what had happened. And then in the next moment, a pulse was felt. Originating from the Doomshroud itself, it permeated out, and like a ripple through the air, it glided through town and dissipated somewhere beyond view. And then another crack and crunch as the fissure that opened up began to rip open like the jaws of a monstrous beast. And Silas and Odysseus. Silas is not here at the moment, but Odysseus, this is actually not something you would have seen as you were still down by the river, but at this point you would be hearing the commotion of what's going on. However, those that are gathered within the crowd that is at the center of town, Uthorn, Karagar, and Kaz, up on your ship, Kaz, I need the three of you to roll perception checks for me.
You want me to roll perception too? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yes. Yes. You roll at disadvantage, though.
Okay.
Why is my game?
Does it hate you? Like I do.
Indeed.
Oh, hey, the dice shut up. That's nice.
Looks like I got a... Okay. 21 would be the worst that I got.
18.
Perfect. Okay.
Get rid of those damn meat dice. I hate them.
Nope. No. They're here to stay, brother.
I
They're
hate
here
them.
to stay.
The meaty
I'm gonna turn off the noise.
And yes,
I just
audience.
and I see them when I'm on my own character sheet.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Oh, gross.
I wonder,
Karagar got
actually.
an 11
Okay.
for his
Can somebody
perception
do a
check.
test roll for me,
All right.
just real quick, out of curiosity, for something else.
What are you doing a test roll for?
Okay, so I'm
Make me
gonna do
eight.
something. I'm gonna do something on stream
Okay.
because I'm going
Hey,
to
that time.
just. I'm
Did you
just.
change the dice?
I'm gonna constantly show the battle map, and even though it's just gonna be a generic background, our dice are gonna show up on it. That way, the audience will see the rolls on the side, but they will also see the rolls in the middle. Now, as time goes on, I may change some things, and we may even have a live chat right there on the side. That, but because we already have the live rolls in the middle, we'll see. Any suggestions for the stream? Please feel free to give them. As I have no clue what I'm doing.
Indeed. So, Kaz, Karagar, and Uthorn, as you all watch this crack open wider and wider, you begin to hear something beyond the sound of cracking and breaking stone, the loud, deafening cracking. You hear something else. Kaz, you hone in on this down below, and the other two you pick it up pretty easily. It sounds like screaming coming from within the crack. And as this thought kind of hits you, all of a sudden these torrents of sickly green and orange fire erupt from this fissure. Bouts of it flowing up everywhere. As it opens further and further, splintering and cracking, you look behind you and you see that the inn is beginning to buckle in its center and start collapsing into this fissure. Looking on beyond the flames, Kaz and Uthorn, you see something that you've seen a few times before now. Something that's pretty familiar to you at this point. However, Karagar, you yourself, being as you came to this place not to fight or partake in the Black Swell and culling the hordes of hell, you came to study these towers and to learn what this barrier, how it functioned. So, what you see is it's probably the first time you've seen it. You begin to see these devilish, fiendish claws begin to claw their way through the flames. as a multitude of devils begin to pour from this fissure. As this happens, the crowd begins to panic and scream. Alarms sound. There's a bell starting to ring. And through the chaos, you're looking around, seeing as these people are pushing and shoving their way around, trying to escape from this fissure. The devils jump out and start clawing and attacking and slashing into people that are too close. Some grabbing on and pulling citizens into the depths as the flames engulf them. As this happens, Odysseus, down at the river, you begin to hear the screams and the chaos erupting from where you're at. Looking up at the town, you see these jets of flame sprouting up beyond the buildings. What would you like to do?
Is this a regular occurrence in this town, or is this kind of abnormal?
Roll a history check for me.
Oh, exciting. I don't know much about history.
Not a natural.
Bro's got the coolest dice I've ever seen, and he rolls a 2 on it. What?
Bro, it's the coolest dice I've ever seen, and it rolls off screen for the audience.
Yeah. Also with -1 to history, so
So
there's law reasons. One,
One?
but
Okay.
not natural. Dirty one.
Okay, so
A dirty
You-
one.
you know, you've been here for a few weeks now. You didn't really pay attention to much outside of killing a few fiends and drowning a few people. So if this is something that occurred frequently, you would have no idea.
All right. Odysseus is going to look at the flames and he's going to turn to his congregation and he'll hold out his hands and he'll say, "Someone bring me a rag."
And they just kind of look at each other as one of them just rips off a piece of their shirt and kind of slowly hands it to you. What'll this do?
Perfect. And Odysseus will take it and he just dries his hands off after drowning. That one guy and hands it back. He goes, "I have preached to you all many times on what good that the promise of Unadin can give. Things such as luck, wealth. But for those of us, the salt priests, such as myself in particular, he can give us the gift to fight. Perhaps you would all like a little show. Follow me into town if you wish." And Odysseus will start heading to town.
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Also not very persuasive. First is a 5.
Okay.
Second is a 9.
Okay. So as you say these words and you turn and begin to make your way towards town, and behind you just kind of hear, "I ain't fucking going in there. Good luck." And they don't follow you. They just kind of stand back at the water like, nope.
When I return, we will spread the word of what happened to you today. Goodbye." And Odysseus just starts walking away.
You think he's gonna die?
I'll move
Probably.
at a leisurely monk pace.
A leisurely monk pace. What is that? 60
Yeah.
feet?
That would be 50 feet.
50 feet. Okay.
I'm not going to rush into this combat. That's kind of crazy.
Okay, so Odysseus, you leave your congregation behind to their own devices at the riverside.
And I'll be
As
back. The water will protect you.
I feel it in me lungs. I know it will.
That feeling will be there for a few days, I'm afraid.
As you leave, you make your way into town as this commotion is happening. You move pretty quickly, weaving through the streets. It's not a big town, but you make your way there pretty quickly to see the commotion as the village or the townspeople are kind of like rushing past you to get away from what's going on up there. You make your way further and further into town as smoke plumes rise up more and more, and getting closer into the town center, you start seeing that buildings are starting to catch on fire, and these further in, you can see that these cracks have begun sneaking out further into the town, and more buildings have like fallen and are falling in as you're kind of moving closer towards the town, or towards the town center. As you're doing this, Odysseus, the rest of you and the town center, which would be Uthorn and Karagar. The commotion is happening. The devils are swarming. You see that there are countless of them spewing out of this, but the townspeople seem to be fleeing towards a certain direction, away from this chaos. What would you two like to do?
This is me, right?
No, this is Karagar and
Okay, then I got mixed up then.
yeah, Karagar and Uthorn. You two are kind of at ground zero right now, as the chaos is kind of going around
It's
you.
the twinkish giant and the twinkish human. That's who's up.
Yeah. Something
Sorry,
like
I
that.
was coughing.
Okay. So because I came out of the inn right before it collapsed into the crack, right?
Correct.
Were there people still inside the inn as it fell down?
As you were carried out, there were definitely still people inside
Oh, that's
that were kind
right.
of reveling in
I had
drunk.
I had an accidental crowd surf.
Yeah, you could
Wow.
you could definitely recall that there were probably still a good number of people inside of that building.
Shoot. Uthorn's he's honestly not gonna know what to do, so he's just gonna kind of panically look around and more or less hope that somebody else figures out what to do.
Is there
will-
an obvious reason why all the townsfolk are running in one direction?
Go ahead, make another perception check for me.
Okay. That's a 6.
Stop rolling your dice off the screen!
I mean, you can't really tell, but given you're a pretty wise guy, you can probably deduce that's probably the easiest direction out of town, like the easiest gate to get to out of town to escape away from here. It's
Okay.
So essentially Doomshroud, the gate that this crack came through on the Doomshroud, was facing towards the south. So
Towards
yes, towards the Doomshroud itself.
the Doomshroud. Okay.
Yes. So
So people are fleeing to the north, or they're fleeing?
yes. So they're fleeing more towards the north. It'd be more. I'm trying to angle this right. It'd be towards the northeast.
Okay.
Northeastern
And
gate.
the amount of devils that is pouring out of the crack is an insurmountable. It would be foolhardy to try and mount a defense. This is apocalyptic.
Correct. You are seeing You're seeing creatures that you have not ever seen outside of books you may have read, or parts of which that you may have seen some of these adventurers carrying as trophies to be turned in.
Okay.
An
Karagar is going
insurmountable
to.
skull fort.
Sorry. Karagar is going to motion for and try and get the attention of people he's noticing not going north out of town, and try and get their attention and get them to follow the crowd and start slowly moving that way. Keeping an eye out for people, just trying to get them to join the main crowd if it seems like they're panicking and not going the right direction to get out of town.
I'll let
Okay.
Karagar know, the player Lane. Uthorn is one of those people that's kind of panicking, not really moving around.
North, out of the city.
What's
This
going
way.
on? Yes, of course.
I don't know, but go follow the people.
Thank you.
Follow the
And,
crowd.
Uthorn will then follow Karagar's command and start following the people. Kind of spurred into action a little bit. He will also because it's a panic. People are gonna fall. He's gonna start helping people up and grabbing them and kind of getting them to go along as well.
Also gonna just make I guess our way north with the crowd, not stay here where the crack full of devils is.
All right. As you two kind of usher your ways out, Karagar kind of guiding everybody to go north and get out of here as quick as they can, kind of motioning and prompting Uthorn, kind of snapping him out of his little phase there. You begin to motion yourselves towards the exit. As this happens, Kaz, you from your captain's cabin, look out the window as this all begins to unfold. You see the same thing as the other two, only from further up on your perch. As this large fissure opens up, spewing out fire as fiends pour out and begin attacking and clawing and pulling people down into the depths. You see some of these creatures jump out and begin to take flight and swarm around as they swarm through the town and start picking people up and carrying them up and then dropping them or just tackling them to the ground and slashing them. They're flooding through the skies. As you're watching this, you notice there is a few that are beginning to head your way to your ship. What would you like to do?
So, how many orcs are here with me? So, I have Grashk and Mira. And what? This is going to be like a skeleton crew. There's not many of us, so what? Probably 2 or 3 more?
You, in total, have 6 others with you.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to say Hogan is one of the orcs.
Mm-hmm.
Crash is another one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I need one more, and Lobart.
Lobart.
Yep. I want to see, first off, I'm going to look off the edge of the ship, and I want to see if I can see Mira.
Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
That is a 14.
14. As you're kind of looking around, as the smoke begins to fill the air and these creatures are swarming and the people are frenzied running around, you catch from the market section where Mira was collecting supplies. You see them running back, kind of carrying these sacks towards the towards the ship, frantically looking back and around behind them, and they get about halfway there before they are swarmed and tackled by a bunch of these impish creatures that begin to just tear at their flesh.
I'm going to jump up on the side of the ship. I'm going to yell at Grashk. Grashk! I need to go help Mira. She's down there. You get Hogan, you and Hogan, get the bows out. You need to protect the ship. Tell Crash and Lobart to quick fasten all we need and get ready to leave. And at that, I'm going to grab a rope and slide down and start sprinting to where Mira was.
All right. As you slide down and rush towards where Mira was, you get close, and you see that there are two imps that are just frantically pounding on Mira, kind of just ripping into her. So you think to yourself, all right, we can do this. But as you get close, ready to do battle, you hear shouting from behind you coming from your ship. As you look back, you see that this gargantuan beast, hell beast, has climbed up from under your ship and has begun clawing its way up onto the deck. And your men are shouting and crying out as they turn around and start frantically firing bows, pulling out axes and swords, and begin chopping and slashing at this creature. You watch on. You look back, you see Mira is still being torn apart. You look back and you see that your ship is under attack. Unfortunately, as you look back at the ship, you see that Hogan is grabbed and flung somewhere into the streets below. Next, Crash comes in with a longsword, jabbing the blade deep into the shoulder of the creature. Seeming unfazed, it grabs hold of him and brings him up and bites down, pulling him away headless, dropping the corpse onto the deck below. Lobart, with a howl up in his crow's nest, begins to fire frantically, just draining his quiver of arrows as the creature looks up at him and grabs the mast of the ship and begins to rock it back and forth as Lobart sways back and forth. Eventually, he loses his footing, falling somewhere far below that you cannot see. The last member of your crew aboard the ship is Grashk, as he holds his dual scimitars in his hands, slashing at this creature, frantically trying to defend the ship. You see it kind of reel back, and then he looks at you. Far below, he gives a salute before flipping both blades in a reverse grip and diving at this creature, sinking both blades in as they both tumble somewhere off into the smoke and ruins below. Seeing this, you turn back, and Mira, is now alone. They see the creatures have seemed to flutter off somewhere to attack other civilians. But she is laying there, still breathing, clutching wounds on her abdomen that are bleeding profusely as she tries to claw her way towards you.
I'll sprint over to his side. Mira, I'm sorry.
Not be sorry, Captain. We chose this life. We live for the adventure and the danger. And as she says this, you see her body begin to rattle as her breaths become more forced and ragged. And she gasps a couple of times and then goes limp in your arms.
I'm gonna pick her up and I'm gonna start running back to my ship. And as I'm running by people, I realize that the city's gone. Like, whatever is happening is like the city is gone. And my crew is gone, but my ship's still there. So I'm gonna try and save what people I can. So I'll start yelling as I'm sprinting through the streets. Hurry, follow me. I have a way out. And I'm gonna usher people to try and get on my ship. And I want to get to my ship, get people on, and get out of here.
Okay. As you do this, as you are trying to usher people towards your ship, some of them stop, look around, kind of confused, not sure what to do, whether to keep following the crowds north or to follow you. Roll a persuasion check for me.
That's a 10.
A 10. -1 to charisma.
Yep.
With a 10, you're kind of in one of those moments where emotions are high, tensions really, really high right now, and you holler this at these people, and most of them are like, "Oh my god!" Like, they kind of like back away from you because it's very, you're an orc, so you've got a naturally deep, gravelly voice, and so your booming orc voice kind of startles some people, and they're like, "Oh, fuck that," and keep running the other way. Well, I would say we'll say four of the individuals are like, "Oh, why not? What the hell? Anything's better than this," and four of these individuals begin to follow you towards your ship.
DM, where are Karagar and I currently in just kind of relations to this whole thing, and possibly in relations to the airship and the random ass orc that's hollering for people to follow him?
So the fissure went up basically to the town center.
Yep.
And opened up. So that's where you guys initially started. The townspeople, most of the townspeople that were gathered there, began to run to the northeast of town, where there is a gate that leads out into Durazan. The airship dock would be located in the northwest of town.
Yeah.
So you, being as you are kind of following the crowds out, and with everything going on, you would not be able to hear him in that section of town.
I was just wondering, get a mental
Mhm.
image of my head.
Yes.
Is all.
Yes. Kaz, as you get to your ship and gather these people up and begin preparations to take off, you look around and you see that there is just utter devastation going on in town. Like, it is completely overrun. And as you look, these creatures are just pouring out more and more. And you know that with only yourself and a bunch of untrained civilians, it's going to take time to get the ship ready to sail. Time that might be cutting it very close to these creatures that are closing in.
I'm gonna yell at. There's a middle-aged man. I'm gonna say is with us. You need to cut the ties that are anchoring us to the dock. I'm gonna get us ready to get out of here. And I'm gonna start filling the I'm guessing they were being filled, but I'm gonna light the fires and stoke everything so that we can start, I guess, elevating so that we can take off.
Right. So this man kind of looks there for a second, like, with what? And then somebody hands him a hatchet. He's like, "Oh, thank you," and he begins cutting rope. As he's doing this, you begin to light flames and get the ship rising. The rest of the people are frantically looking around and screaming, looking out towards the ever-encroaching hordes of hell that are approaching on you. What would you like to do next?
I'm gonna tell the others to all the rest of you duck inside the cabin here. Hide yourselves and try not to be seen. We don't want any more of these beasts coming for us.
They don't protest. They just kind of whimper and okay, and they go inside and kind of huddle inside. Give me a athletics check.
Okay. That's a 15. It's an
15.
epic struggle. Is the DM gonna give our group an airship?
With a 15, I will say that you are able to light the flames that kind of help to elevate. Now, mind you, so with these flames, they essentially, because the ship is so kind of it's docked as it is, these flames that you light and unlight, they're more for docking and undocking.
Yeah.
Whereas the stone that is built within the under the hull of the ship is what gives it its loft and ability to sail through the skies.
Mm-hmm.
You light these fires and begin to rise. The ship begins to rise off and kind of move away from the dock. As this happens, there's a digital dice in my way. Let me set this here. You see that there is 5 of these flying impish creatures that have taken notice of your departure. And as they kind of notice you, they begin screeching and hollering and kind of like what appears to be alerting the others towards what you're doing. And they begin flying towards you. I need you to roll a d20 for me.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, roll a d20.
That's a nat 20, my friend.
A natural 20. You, sir, are
I think that's
like
the first nat 20 of the campaign.
I think it is.
I'm pretty
might
sure
be
it
a good
is.
It might be
Might
a
be a
good
bad
time.
sign. You never know.
You have been through many turmoils throughout your years as a captain of these sand ships. You've been through quite a few precarious situations. You are managing to keep your cool and focus as you continue to work to get this ship head off with basically by yourself. In doing so, with a natural 20, I will say that you are able to, with the help of the middle-aged man, are able to disengage the ropes and get yourselves up and away from the docks. So you have undocked, and now it is a matter of igniting the stone and basically trying to get out of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I will. I'm gonna grab a bow and quiver that's has only a couple arrows in it because they've been strewn about and shot. I'll push them into the guy's chest. If any of those things come close, give him a couple of these. I'm gonna go get us going, and I'm gonna duck below and start working on the stones to achieve maximum velocity.
All right, go ahead, and as you go below deck, once again, this middle-aged man is like, "The fuck is happening?" As he's like pulling back the bow, and like you can tell he has not really used a bow ever. So he's like sitting there, like pulling back and firing, hopefully hitting something or at least scaring something. As you make your way below deck, you open up the hatch where the Lavaris stone or the Lavaris core sits. It is this stone that has been sculpted into a core for the ship that, when activated, it instills this magical energy with the ship that gives it its lofting nature to be able to fly through the skies. Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
Oh, that's only a 2.
A 2. So, as you kind of look at the stone, you notice something is different about it. Looking at it, you see that it's almost like sputtering, something you've really never seen before. As you look around and you try to do your typical spell or your typical way of activating it, it's not working.
Let's think here. I'm going to sprint back out, and run into my cabin, my quarters, and get a instruction manual that I have in one of the chests.
Oh man.
And I'm gonna grab that and then sprint back down. And I want to use as an I'm gonna use Adrenaline Rush, and it gives me 2 temporary HP. It also means I can use a dash action. So I'm just saying I'm using that to move faster than
Okay.
anything like a guy normally would.
Yes. As you frantically search through your piles of paperwork and maps and whatnot, you pull out the how to use Lavara's stones for dummies. And
Yeah.
it is you haven't used this as well. It's collected a lot of dust. So you're like I don't really need it. But in this moment you're like, oh shit, I might need this. So you grab that thing and your heart is pumping. You're just like, oh fuck, and you bolt down with adrenaline coursing through your veins. You bolt back into the carrying the cargo hold where the core is settled, and oh, let's see what would I have you roll for that? Go ahead and roll an intelligence check for me.
I was gonna say that probably would just be straight intelligence.
Yeah, intelligence check.
No! Not one.
Oh,
Oh god.
Put this thing in years.
This started out so good.
You have hit the highest high and the lowest low.
oh no.
You frantically open this thing and you're like thumbing through. You look at the glossary trying to find like where exactly the troubleshooting chapters are in this booklet. You're like, oh my god, what? And you look and you get back to where you think it is. You're like, oh, I see it. So you flip back to there, and as you open it up, you see that this is a bunch of runic symbols and other like just gibberish that you do not in your state you do not know what this is. Like you kind of try to shuffle back to look and see, and it's basically there's like this at the beginning of the book. It's like a how to understand the glyphs, and it goes through like multiple pages of understanding these glyphs, and basically like dealing with the circuit board, just different pieces going to different areas. And looking at this in the back, you have no idea what this means. You have never read this manual before in your life.
Yeah, it was Grashk who usually, troubleshot the Lavara's stone if something happened.
Not enough
Let's
mage
see.
bites in your warrior hearts.
I'm going to dip back up, and I want to know how close have those fiends gotten to the ship.
Okay, so I'm kind of tracking this in rounds at this point. Every time you do something, I take that as a round. You would probably venture your guess to say you have like about 18 seconds before these things are swarming the ship at this point.
I'm gonna run back into my cabin. I'm gonna grab Kanak Bup, and Kanak Bup and I so I communicate with Kanak Bup. He understands sign language. And that's a lot of my group. We would sign to each other, like my tribe. That's a lot of how we communicate. And so I speak sign language to Kanak Bup. And so I bring him down below, and I tell Kanak Bup to take his little, because it's kind of like in this little box, and it's hard for me to kind of reach. I'm going to tell him to take his little monkey paws and just smack the stone like a couple times, and then I'm going to try and light it again and get us going.
Roll a...
Come on, Kanak!
Roll a strength check for Kanak.
Let me pull up a monkey stack. I'm strong.
Let's go, Kanak buff.
Kanak Bup.
If Knack rolls a nat 1 on this,
Okay. Oh my
Shatters the crystal.
a regular ass. So a monkey has only 3 strength. He has -4 to his roll. But yeah,
Oh God.
okay.
gonna roll a d20. Hey, he got a 10. He got
a 10's not bad.
Not bad.
10 for goodness buff.
Knack, little Buff he's a pretty intelligent guy. So like you're like, you need to go fucking hit this thing and make it work. And he just kind of goes, and he goes up, and he like spits into his hands, and just kind of like somebody ear clapping somebody else, just kind of smacks both sides. It doesn't appear to do anything. Go ahead and roll another Arcana check for me.
It's an 18.
An 18.
Gosh.
As Knack hits the cue or the core, you're kind of like, okay. Think back how I did this before, and you kind of retrace. You kind of look around, and you kind of, as these kind of glyphs appear that you use to activate the core, you kind of look at it more, focus your mind, and you are able to find a point where you kind of press into it with your magic, and it goes dark. And then it lights up fully without the flicker. It appears that you have been able to start the core. However, you do not know how far you will get with this core, as it appears to be having some sort of troubleshooting issues. But the ship is currently active.
I will throw Kanakba up on my shoulder. I'm gonna jump out of the the below, and I'll jump back on deck, and I'll go to the helm and throw it in overdrive and start steering out of town.
As you do this, you begin to lift off, and you crank the wheel. As this is done, you turn towards to the northeast, back towards, or which direction would you like to go? South is Doomshroud. To the west would be towards the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
To the Serpent Spine Mountains, and then to the north is Durazan. Or to the north, like northeast, basically. All the way to the north is like Durazan itself.
Where is the crowd running?
Looking down, you see that the crowd is currently running towards the northeast of town.
I'll head that way with them.
Okay. All right. So as you take off from your perch, narrowly avoiding, you kind of run into a few imps with the ship, and they're kind of like birds just smacking off the hull. You're going fast enough that they just kind of fly off and get hit. But as you kind of turn it towards the northeast and start flying towards the crowds, on the ground, Odysseus, you have now, where you're standing, you now see that the crowds are rushing towards the northeast. Towards the back, you see a pretty tall individual, kind of ushering people, making sure everybody's going the right direction. You see him kind of snap another individual out of a trance-like state, and they begin like making their way at the back of the group towards the northwest. You are kind of on this street that is more. You'd be looking kind of from the southwest, or the southeast, looking up and kind of diagonal towards these people that are running towards the northeast. What would you like to do?
I think Odysseus recognizes a man of stature and conviction, and I think it's Karagar motioning people around. So Odysseus will calmly walk up to the giant man, and Odysseus kind of has his hands clasped together, and he's deftly dodging left and right as people go by, and kind of twisting to the side. And he'll go, good sir, call one.
What are you doing? We have to get out of town.
No, I was outside of town. Could you tell me what's happening here?
Have you looked around?
I see people
motion to the
running.
giant crack with the whole entire battalion of devils crawling out of it behind you.
Does
We
this
have to
happen
leave.
often?
I've hardly been here a week. I don't know. I've never seen anything like these creatures. Why are you so calm?
Well, Undarin teaches us that those who carry the promise cannot be harmed by these devilish fiends.
So you're a priest. Lucky me. Come on. We gotta get out of here. I'll grab an old man that tripped at your feet. Come on.
Odysseus will reach down, and you'll watch as he reaches this old man, has a cut on his cheek, and Odysseus will kind of snap his fingers, and you'll see some water materialize as a swirl, and he'll rub it across the man's cheek and heal his wound. Fortunately, I can't heal your wrinkles in your old bones, but it should give you a chance to keep running.
I can't run. Do you see my legs? do I look capable of such things?
And
Who are you?
stick with me.
Well, at least
Stick
you're
with
helpful.
us. We'll help you.
Oh,
Listen,
okay.
tall man, the gods, they speak in parables and mysteries. I am just as vulnerable in the flesh to these things as anyone else.
Well, at least you're helpful. I'll motion behind me to Uthorn, whose name I haven't gotten yet. That one's helpful too, so if you lose sight of me somehow, find him. Just keep helping people. Please. We gotta go.
This
I'll leave the old man to you, and I'll run over to help up a couple of kids that are like tripping over themselves trying to get out from behind a barrel.
You're very blue. Are you feeling well?
I will tell you of the great color blue and its master Undarin once we survive this, and you will. But for now, get up on my shoulder. We must move.
Oh, okay. Lead the
My
way,
name is-
blue man.
My name is Odysseus, please.
Odie. Okay.
Odysseus will roll his eyes. Yes, Odie to you.
Karagar will help those kids up and push them, get them moving. Point at himself. Karagar. Keep moving. Come on, guys. Motion some more civilians on.
Over the crowd, Uthorn will answer back. Uthorn, good to meet you. Sorry about being all flustered earlier. Wasn't really expecting all this to happen. Then again, I don't
You're
think
fine.
anyone was. And he'll grab a couple people that tripped and help them up.
We're a pact now. We must stick together. The rest of my congregation waits for me on the shores. I hope they'll be safe.
Karagarn will look at Uthorn and roll his eyes and then just motion to keep going. We got to get out of here.
And I assume we will, as Uthorn just keeps helping people and pushing them forward.
Right, as the three of you kind of gather together and begin helping the people of the town move and make their way, evacuate out of the town. Odysseus, make a perception check for me.
Maybe I'm good at those. Yeah, not bad. We have a shot, lads. Oh,
Nice.
so a 19 total.
19 total. Through the smoke and flames, you see down by the river, your congregation are beginning to swim across as the man
They can
Bolden,
swim.
the man Bolden ushers them with bravado
Yes.
that he
Yes.
that he believes stems from his devotion to Undari. As he keeps moving them forward, you can see that they are attempting to escape from town.
Good. Bolden, that's my best friend.
Yep.
Odysseus will point. That's my best friend over there.
What are you talking about?
You can't see him. He's only 3 miles away through the smoke and water.
So
About seeing people. We're the town guard.
as you
We're the
funny-
paladins.
We can't
Funny
rely
that-
on the government, my friends. Only the gods.
Funny that you say that. So, as you all are kind of moving towards towards the exit, you have noticed that there are a surprising lack of guards in this town. But, somebody, let's see here. Go ahead and make history checks, the three of you.
My last one went really well.
I believe a dirty 20 for Karagar.
30-20.
A 13 for Odie.
13. Uthorn.
I'm sorry.
This guy.
Where's my character sheet?
Where's my super suit?
Where's my meat dice?
Oh my gosh. History, you said, right?
Yes.
There's the
There it is.
meat dice. 19.
Ugh.
Okay. Uthorn, you kind of say this out loud, like where are the guards? And then you remember, like during you guys were all kind of briefed on what happens during the Black Swell, when you get to town. The guards that typically run this town or like garrisoned at this town, while there are typically plenty of them keeping watch over the Doomshroud, when it comes time for the Black Swell, they kind of pull back their forces away from the town. Just because there's so many adventurers, there's a lot going on, so there's kind of they themselves kind of just do a skeleton crew around town of guards that walk around, monitor, but it's mostly to avoid like overfilling this town. So they kind of back away and kind of they have their own garrison nearby that they go to during the times of the Black Swell. So
That seems like a
Cowards.
horrible idea.
Indeed. But as
The barriers have never fallen before. I don't understand.
Sadly, there was a first time for everything, and
That's what I read anyway.
we got caught up in it.
What's a barrier?
Oh God, I'll tell you later. Just keep moving.
They were the protection of this town.
Oh,
I guess we'll continue on.
As Odysseus just was like, yeah, fuck it.
Oh,
So as you all are continuing on, moving towards the exit, you look, or you hear something in like from behind you, and as you look up, Kaz, as you're flying towards this group of people, you hear, or you feel the ship shudder. You're giving it all she's got, and you feel it shudder underneath you, and all of a sudden the ship begins to lurch and descend towards the crowds that are running out of town. You still have your sails. You're kind of more at a glide at this point. You're not free falling, just directly dropping. You're more of like at a glide. You still have the remnants of the magic, but you are starting to plummet towards the ground. What are you going to do? And are you muted?
The double take on this microphone.
I did. All right, so my ship's plummeting towards the ground, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to yell at the guy, "Get over here. Take hold of the wheel. Keep it going straight that direction. I got to check on the workings below." And I'm going to sprint down below after he grabs the wheel.
Right, as you go down below, you notice now that the core, the Lavaris core, is now, it is ever so faintly glowing, meaning it is nearly expired.
Are we like still within city limits, or are we outside of the city?
You are still within city limits. So you basically turned the wheel, cranked it, and hit the turbo, and it kind of got you through most of the town, but it was like a short burst before it cut out.
I'm gonna step back up on deck. Does it look like at the rate that we're falling and the rate that we're moving forward, does it look like we'll clear city limits before the ship goes down?
Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Do a physics check. I don't know why it rolled 2, but they rolled the same number, so 18.
And a good
18.
one.
Yeah, they both rolled 18s. I don't know why it rolled 2 dice.
That was impressive. You, judging by the velocity which you're falling and the angle, the trajectory of your fall, you're gonna land like right on the edge of town. Like not outside of town. It looks like you are going to be landing amongst some buildings. It's going to be a crash land into some buildings.
It's about to be a bumpy ride.
I am gonna go back down below and I'm going to try and grab some of the tools that are down there, and I'm gonna try and keep it stoked. Might be a bad term, but like keep it going just long enough for us to try and clear the buildings and get out of town.
Okay. Roll an Arcana check.
No. No.
Oh,
Dang it.
No.
It just goes out.
So as you get down there, you pull out your tools again. You look at the how-to book. You look at the tools, look at the book, and you throw the book down. You begin trying to mess with it, and as you're kind of tooling with the clamps and the harnesses, you see the it begins to like it lights up, and you're like, oh, thank gods! And all of a sudden, she goes, and it's dead. There is no glow in it at all. It is dead.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I will say you
yeah.
do still have the you have your at this point you're going to start falling like almost straight. But I will say you do have the flame risers.
Yeah. So I am going to stoke the flame so that it keeps us lifted a little bit, and I am going to turn. I'm trying to think. Okay, so if we're flying towards the city, we're aiming for buildings. I'm gonna try and turn it so that. Oh, never mind. Nah, I'm just gonna stoke the flame and try and get us low. I'm gonna jump back up on deck and try and guide us in between some buildings, so we don't land like crash into one, but like in between them, maybe on a street or something like that.
Okay. Make a performance check.
That's an 8.
Man, you grab onto the wheel. You have the fire stoked. You're doing the best you can. You're kind of gauging it, and you think to yourself, okay, if I turn it just right at this moment, and you crank the wheel. As you crank it, you did not see that there was indeed a steeple on your port side.
Uh-huh.
And as you crank the wheel, it basically hits this steeple and kind of puts you into a spin. As this ship descends in a spin, you all kind of just look, and you crash into a grouping of buildings, kind of the rooftops, not so much onto the ground, but onto the rooftops. Go ahead, make a dexterity save for me.
Yeah. Nope, that's just a check, but that'd be a 15.
15, yeah. So you're able to kind of catch yourself and brace for the impact, smashing into the buildings. You don't take any damage. You probably definitely will have a bit of whiplash later, but you appear to have survived the crash as the balloon type device hits and starts deflating. It starts catching on fire, and the rigging begins to engulf in the flames as your ship begins to catch fire.
no.
Pretty much, I'm gonna sprint down below. I'm going to break open the device that holds the Lavarus stone. I'm gonna grab the stone, jump back up on deck. I'm gonna tell everyone to get off the ship if they're there, if I can see them. And then if I still have time, I'll go run into my cabin and grab my small chest of just my goods, like my small chest of personal items, and jump off the ship.
Okay. You had four people on there.
Yep.
Sadly, the middle-aged man was ejected upon impact.
No.
as he was the only one above deck at the time.
Me sailing through the middle seat because I didn't have my seatbelt on as my dad hits the brakes.
You do notice though that on like kind of haphazardly on the ground is the bow and the arrow quiver that was emptied. So he did use all the arrows you gave him, but he then became an arrow himself.
Yikes. Yikes.
Yes, but the rest of everybody just kind of like stumbles out of the cabin, kind of like shakily, but they survived, a little scraped up, but they're intact. So you gather the stone, gather your little chest of goods, and these people, and you clamber down off of your wreck. As you do so, you end up meeting up with the crowds moving out of town, and towards the back of you. As you get to the road, you're basically at the back of the line, and you see these three individuals that are kind of ushering everybody out and helping people kind of get their way out of town.
Quick question: what kind of buildings is this? Like residential buildings? What kind of buildings is around us, and did the ship crash into?
They were houses.
So not a magical shop.
Nope. Those the magic and like the market area
Worth a shot.
Yeah, the market area unfortunately was within the town square, so it has likely been overrun by hell at this point.
Did we crash into the castle vault where all the relics are
I'm gonna run over to the three over there. Listen, my ship's crashed over there. The hull is full of loot and ancient relics. If you help me grab it all, we can get out of here.
What? Did you come over to us?
Yeah.
What good is treasure gonna do us now?
This man cares about his loot. God damn it.
Do you see how many people have died in the city? What are you talking about?
I lost my whole crew. I don't care about the treasure. I was just trying to. All right. Scratch that. Rewind.
Get out of here. Worth a shot.
So I run over to those guys, and I'm just gonna kind of overhear what they're saying, and I'm gonna be helping one of the ladies that was on the ship with me, and she has a sprained ankle, and she'll be holding on to me. And I'll walk up to these group. Is there any wagons or anything that this lady can hitch a ride on?
No, we don't have wagons.
The captain can steer because this man can fly a ship to save its bloody life.
You, holy man, come here, hurry.
Oh, are you talking about Odysseus?
Yes.
Odysseus.
You see him. You see a like a old, like enrobed man, like.
Not you, the blue one.
Oh.
Both
God.
Odysseus and the guy, old man he's holding up, look over at you and go, huh?
Oh. Huh?
Quickly, we have
Hey,
another injured
oh.
over here.
Oh,
Find another blue man. This one's my ride.
I'm
Uthorn
afraid
will
if
run-
she's
Uthorn
if
will
she's
run
not
over
dead, I
and-
won't be of much help.
What? What do you mean not dead?
It's a
What?
long story.
Hey, Stormy.
Never mind. You're useless.
I don't
And
know what
Uthorn will
to do
turn
with this.
around and he will pull out his flute and he will kind of do a scale up and down on the flute, and then as he does, magic will seep down out of the flute and start swirling towards this woman, and I'm going to cast healing word on her.
Scott, on your flute, did you go a scale horizontally or vertically?
It's a pan flute, so
is
it's
this a skin flute
horizontal.
by chance?
he played
Hey,
with the
hey,
KG.
hey! I am not Zephyr. I'm not a servicer of men. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody has a character arc.
I'm going to cast healing word on the woman. She heals 9.
That's pretty
Dang.
good.
My God. Like a new woman. Don't touch me
Hurry.
anymore.
Follow the crowd. Get out of this damn city.
I should have followed them to begin with. And she she gets up with a surprising spring in her step and begins moving with the crowd.
Odysseus looks over at Karagar and goes, well, I'd never call anybody useless in this situation, but that was pretty handy what your little bard did over there.
I didn't even know he was a bard. Useful though. Very
You
useful.
couldn't tell?
I've been a little busy trying to get people away from some fucking devils in the city. I haven't had time to pay attention to what everyone's got on their hip. Are you crazy? We gotta get out of here.
Of course I'm crazy. Let's keep going.
As
Fucking holy
Uthorn
men. Why
continues
is it
on,
always holy men?
as Uthorn continues on, he's going to call out, "You ship captain, what's your name?"
Guys,
Good to meet you, Kaz. Was it just the 4 that you brought? I guess 3. My bad. 3.
R.I.P.
There's
Was
a
it just the
mysterious
3?
pile of viscera on the ground right next to it.
You indeed, like, if you look back towards where Kaz came from, you can see that on the side of a building there it does appear to be a smear.
Oh no!
Paint the town red.
does it really matter? In a matter of minutes, this whole part of town will be overrun.
Surely we have to get as many people out as we can.
We're
It looks like
trying.
we're getting out right now. How long do you three plan on waiting here?
I'm done waiting.
Oh, Odysseus has already taken off.
Yeah,
We were just getting the last few people.
I'm right behind him.
Quick, let's go. And Uthorn will then pick up, slotting his flute back into his belt and continue running.
Down his throat.
Oh my god.
DM, how close are we to the how close are we to the edge of the city?
As you guys meet up with Kaz and do all the things you've done, you continue escorting everybody out of the city. Within a couple of minutes, you are at the edge of town, and you notice there's a bridge. There is a bridge that crosses over the river at this point. As everybody's kind of making their way over this bridge. You see that from different streets that converge on this point, people are kind of like running out onto this bridge, moving across it. Towards the end, as the last remnants of the villagers or townsfolk make their way over the bridge, You all begin to move across yourselves, and at that moment, you hear from behind you a rumble and explosion of fire that erupts far. Even at the edge of town, you can see that from the town center, this torrent of flame that rises up. And as you look at this, you see in the sky a swarm of creatures converging on your position. As you begin to cross, these creatures all land boom, 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 boom in front of you. These impish fiends begin to chatter and slash at you and position themselves between you and your way out. And at that point, we're going to end the session.
Hey.
All right.
Right as I think Silas is just about to join us right now.
Don't. Oh my
Hey guys, what's going on?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh my
There he
gosh.
is.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Good session, boys. I know, Rue, you desperately wanted to keep that shit, but
I tried, dude. I tried.
I know, honestly, if you would have kept rolling like really
Decent.
well, yeah, I was like, I gotta let him probably keep this ship at least for a little while if he can manage to pull this off.
Yeah. A couple nat ones, and yeah, it's crashing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in, watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know I did. It's fun every weekend or week to be able to sit down and play this and have the audience and have these guys get into whatever shenanigans that they get into. So if you liked it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to this, our social medias, our Twitch channel, all that good stuff. Tell your friends, your family.
YouTube.
Yep.
It's
YouTube
coming.
eventually.
It will come. Yep.
Eventually, YouTube will,
I'm gonna
will
come.
happen. When that does happen, please subscribe there so that way you can keep track of these episodes and keep up with what's going on in this rendition of Terus. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will see you on the next one.
See you
Take
next
care.
time.
See ya.
Bye.